reading your PDFs on an Android tablet or phone. Let's do this. Okay guys, if you've seen my previous video showing you how to get your PDF book scans into the Apple iBooks app on iOS, you see that's basically a matter of putting your library into the OneDrive app and then essentially sideloading it from OneDrive directly into iBooks. And that works pretty well. But what if you're on Android? So that was a question I had for myself, and I didn't have an Android device until recently. But now that I have an older Android HTC running version 7 of the Android operating system, which I think is Nougat, I've got some suggestions I can show you on how this process would work. Now, because Android is not the walled garden that Apple is, it's actually a bit easier to get files into this device, but it's not obvious how to get them into the Google Play Books app. But there's a real easy way, so I want to show you how to do that. So if you go, let me just bring up the device. Again, this is an Android HTC 7, I think. If I open up the OneDrive app, which is the same process that I used for iOS, and this is a very slow device, so I have to bear with me, and I've already drilled down into my library on OneDrive. I can still open up a PDF here just like I could on my iPad. So let me touch on the file here to open it inside the OneDrive app. And I can read it here just like I could on Apple. I can zoom in and take a look, but it's probably better for me to have an offline copy, number one, and maybe number two, have it in another app that I'm more comfortable with. So that app, at first, you might think is going to be Google Play Books, the Google equivalent to the iBooks app in Apple. However, if I touch on the share sheet, that is the 3 buttons at the top here, and look at the options that I have available, and when it eventually comes up, there is no option here for putting this file, this PDF file, into the Google Play Books app. However, there's an even easier way to do that. So let me show you how that works simply by opening up a web browser. So here is a web browser opened to play.google.com/books and log in with your usual Google account. And you'll see up at the top here, there's a button for upload files. You can upload PDFs and EPUB files directly into your Google Books library using this web interface. And those books, including those PDFs, will be available to the Google Books app on your Android device. So if I click upload files, and let's just grab a copy of a file that isn't too big, just to kind of hopefully speed things up. It's going to upload after a couple of seconds. And when that is done, you will see the book, and then it says processing. And I'm not sure exactly what it's doing here because this is already a PDF file. Nonetheless, it's going to process. So let's come back to that. Let's just put that aside for a moment. Let's go back to OneDrive here on the Android device, and let's see how another app that you can read PDFs on. And I'm going to show you why it might even be a better app to use for reading. So if I touch on the screen and then get the menu at the top, on the ellipses menu, the 3 dots, if I touch that, I get the option to save. And I'm going to touch save. Now I could just keep offline. If I did that, it would be available in the OneDrive app only, but I want to get it in another app. So I'm going to say save. And it's giving me a number of recommendations for file locations. Because this is an Android device, there's a more robust file system, which is, there's pros and cons to it. I don't want to get into that argument right now. But let's go into, in this download folder, there's actually a folder called Xodo, And that's the app I'm going to recommend, Xodo Xodo. So I'm going to save it into the Xodo folder, and then I'll show you how that looks and why I'm recommending it in just a moment. So here we are back in OneDrive. Let me close that and go back to the Xodo app, or into the Xodo app. And here you can see a number of file locations, including storage emulated download Xodo. So that's what we just saw a moment ago. And there's the file, in this case, the EOS Rebel T5 Quick Reference Guide. So if I touch to open that, it opens here in the Xodo app. So this now I can zoom. This is now completely offline. I can turn pages, and there's also ways to highlight. And also another feature I like about this app is you can change the font, or excuse me, you can change the look and feel. So instead of being black text on white, you can actually change that. Let's try this. If I touch at the top here, this page with a gear icon on it, if I touch that, I get some options, including color mode. So you can see color mode. It's on daytime right now. There's a nighttime mode and a sort of a sepia mode. Let's try nighttime. So here it's done a really nice job of giving me a easy on the eyes nighttime view to read this document. And just for kicks, let's try the sepia mode. So again, I go back into this gear page menu. I touch on sepia, and I get this kind of easy on the eyes version. Instead of being a bright white page, it's a little bit of a tannish brown, sepia. So there's actually a whole bunch of other color options. If I go back to that gear icon and click the 3 dots to the right on the color menu, you can see I've got a number of options here. Let's just choose one at random. Oh, let's say this greenish one up here. See what that looks like. Oh, got to click OK. And now kind of looks like some sort of lost in the jungle document. The other thing you can do, I believe, with this app, and I haven't spent too much time with this app, but what I've seen and the recommendations that I've seen online, highly recommend it. You can highlight text, and I can underline, and I can, let's see, highlight. Highlight doesn't show up very well on this particular color scheme, but the highlight is there. Let's just go back to regular view and see how that looks. There we go. Highlighted and underlined. So let's go back now to that processing book, and there it is. It's now in my Google Play library. So let's see what that looks like on the Android device. So we're going to go back to the desktop, or the home screen, I should say, the home screen on Android 7 Nougat. And we're going to open up the Play app, the Play folder, and then the Play Books app, which is right here. And when it finishes loading, there we can see the book I just uploaded as a PDF. Let's try opening that and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to touch on the book in the list. It's taking a few seconds. It's probably downloading a copy in the background, but it seems to be done after just a few seconds. And now I can flip through the book with the Google Play Books app. So, recommendation, entirely up to you. I've given you two methods. If you want to stay in that Google Play Books app, because that's your sort of default reading app, you can certainly do that. Or if you want to have maybe a little more power, flexibility with changing fonts, changing font color and being able to underline, which I don't think you can do in this app. You can add a bookmark and that's about it. There's other apps available, and I've found that this Xodo app seems to be pretty powerful. So those are two different ways. I hope this app helped you. I hope my stumbling over it, trying to do a live mode. This is a little bit different version of recording these for me. I'm trying to just try a little different technique to get these recordings done. And that's about it. We'll see you next time. Please do, if you have any questions, put them down below. I'll see if I can answer them. Take a second to give me one of these, or if you didn't like it, give me one of these too. Won't hurt my feelings. I really want to know what you think. And if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. You know what to do, and then you'll be notified. If you click the bell, you'll be notified when I produce more content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.